Welcome to the YCNU podcast. Join us each week for engaging conversations with campus leaders, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members. From academics to athletics, campus life, and beyond, we cover it all. Have someone you want to hear from? Let us know. Let's explore the world of Yavapai College together.
Hello and welcome to the YCNU podcast. I'm Cadu Medina, your host for today's episode, and I'm here with Marnee, Zazueta, and Dawnette, Polland. Let's start with a little introduction. Tell us a little bit about your background and your role here at Yavapai College.
Thank you, Cadu. I am Marnee Zazueta. I have been at Yavapai College for 25 years. My current role is the CTE Associate Dean out here in Chino Valley.
Beautiful.
I'm Dawnette, Polland, and I'm the coordinator of the Workforce Education Program through Adult Basic Education. And my goal and my purpose is to help GED students become employable, which I push the Yavapai College certificate programs and degree programs.
That's awesome. Well, Dawnette, you've been on the podcast before, but not you, Marnee, so welcome. I've been excited to get you down here on the podcast because there's so much we need to talk about.
Yes, I'm new to the podcast, but
everyone
let's
knows
get
you.
going.
25 years at Yavapai College, that's like a lifetime.
It is a lifetime. It's especially because I'm only 29.
It's never too early to start working, people. There you go. Wonderful. Well, but we'll get to that in another episode because you are a whole episode on its own.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
The pressure.
But today I got both of you here because we're talking about something super exciting, which I'm going to let you talk about that. We're talking about GED classes tailored for college students. Well, tell us a little bit about it. Just give us an overview. And I got a bunch of questions here for you, but let's introduce the topic to us. What is this?
So basically, we've just, as a GED program in adult basic education, we have over many years, reach out just to anybody that would want to get a GED, which is in Arizona now called high school equivalency or HSE, exact same thing. But we decided, after talking with Marnee and Alex and a few other people here and Max, that we need to reach a lot of the Yavapai College students who do not have their high school diploma, be it directly from high school or a GED, because a lot of times these students, they have their certificate and they go and they apply for a job and they want you to have a high school diploma. And now what? Now they're thrown backwards. So, and it's quite a few steps back, and then they have to do something about that. So our conversation grew into saying, hey, let's then create an initiative, a GED initiative to reach those students who are interested in obtaining a GED diploma that are already in the Yavapai College system. They're working toward a program. Maybe they're registered right now, actively in a program, or they're registered now to start next semester. We want to reach them and say, hey, we're here to help you. If you're interested, come talk to us, type thing.
That's wonderful. What are the numbers that we're talking about here? How many students do you think are in that situation right now that are?
Well, we haven't totally done any studies on it, but what we gather from conversations is that there's quite a few, because you can come here and not have and get in a program and not have your GED or high school diploma, which is great, but there's a lot of students, and I can't give you a percentage or anything because I probably would be wrong, but there's a high percentage of students that do not have it, have that. And that's who we're trying to reach. But some of them don't. Some fields they're going into, you don't need it, but we're trying to reach those that you will need it.
And for any reason, students did not complete their high school diploma or complete their GED program to have a high school equivalency. And later in life, they discover that they do want to increase their education and they come to Yavapai College.
Yes.
So if they have employer goals, they have different career aspirations, we are now saying not only professionally can we make you employable, but also personally achieve this level of education that you missed for any reason. And now we're making it accessible.
And springboard off of that, I had a student quite a few years back who came from another state, and he worked on the pipeline. He was a supervisor, made really good money, and knew his job inside out, but they decided to move here. He found a job that he was perfect for, almost exactly same kind of job, similar, but they wouldn't hire him because he didn't have a high school diploma, and he was like 50 some years old. And so if we can take care of this now, you never have to deal with that in the future.
Right. That's super interesting. And I bet that this is very common in the students that are attracted, especially here to the Chino Valley campus, right? Where we have our agricultural programs. I bet that a lot of them are in that situation. And especially like, English as a second language students might end up here looking for a career advancement through one of the programs that we have, but they're like limited because here, especially in this country, we are not allowed to get most of the jobs without a high school diploma. So you kind of have that barrier there. I bet that, Marnee, you can tell me this, but
we do.
A lot of our students here face that.
Yes. In CTE programs in general, that is a common theme that we have of people get into a CTE area or an aspiration of moving into a CTE career because they like working with their hands more than book work. And so if they possibly did not complete a high school diploma or equivalency, and now they know that they want to work with their hands and they are in the CTE program at any of our campuses, including Chino Valley, then now we are providing that opportunity here while they are still completing the program of study that they are interested in.
That's wonderful.
Making it available.
Right. Well, let's get into the details a little bit of this. So how does that integration between GED preparation with college, coursework, we're talking about students that are already enrolled in maybe the program here or not. How does that make it easier for them to go through the program? How does it enhance their learning experience here as students? How does it tie it with their goals? Like how do we make that happen?
So we're piloting our first program with this initiative starting in spring. And we've offered the registration to begin on January 6th, and then to register for the GED classes, and the enrollment will close on I have to look at my notes, January 31st, because we have to have time to get them in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But what we're trying to do, and again, we might have to tweak it along the way, is they would come to, right now we're starting at the Chino Valley campus where they could take their classes, and it's closer here to come from CTAC to take a class. They're in their program, and Marnee, help me with this if you have any more to say about this or input. They're going to be taking the program, and then we'll offer twice a week at night their GED class, and we're there for them. We'll do whatever we can. And then, so we're hoping right now for the get-go to help them when they're already coming to campus. They're already doing it, even though we're dealing with both CTAC and the Chino campus. Eventually, we'll like to have a GED class also have that at CTAC, so we could have it in both campuses.
Right. So it sounds like we're adding the GED preparation classes to their existing program.
Exactly.
Or to their existing schedule. So they're like double tasking here a little bit, or getting both done at the same time?
Yes, we're trying to streamline it. And so by streamlining the availability, the students can come to the same campus that they're taking courses at and scheduling them where it does not conflict with the courses that they're already taking, so that they can complete both really in the same time frame.
Right. Is it in person only or in person, online? Do we know where this is going?
This is going to be in person because the feedback I've received from instructors that with students that want their GED or HSE, that they're better in-person classes doing this in person. So that interaction is needed, people to people, person to person, and they really will thrive on that. And also a lot of the students, you really you can do a lot of courses on your phone, but you really need this to be in person and on a computer and like walk up. I can see by student's face they're struggling, and I'll make sure I have the rest of the class, they're good to go. And then I'll walk over quietly say, how are we doing there? You can't do that if it's online. You can't give that to them.
Yeah, we want these students to be successful as they want to be.
Right.
And so the accountability of coming in, the relationship building, not only with their instructors, but with their classmates and supporting each other through the process, that's going to increase those success rates.
Wonderful. Well, I know that this is not just a matter of how much time they have available. A lot of the times it's also how financially this can impact them, right? Taking on two things at a time. The program they're going through here, plus adding GED classes to it. So that can be a little bit of a burden there for some students. But I know that you guys are already going to try to figure that out. So why don't we kind of get into what resources and how do we support, these students enrolled in GED classes, and how can these eventually contribute to their overall success here? We don't just cut them loose and add more things to their plates. We're here to support them too in that journey, right? Especially financially. How are we doing this?
Well, our GED program is free. And they're making fun of me. So it's free because the GED program is grant funded, and we provide everything except for paying for the actual GED exams.
Right.
But we have other sources, like we can go to NACOG possibly, and it just depends on how much funds we have in adult basic education. We might be able to pay for some of their exams, and there's a process there. But everything else is, now every time I want to say this word free, I hear Marnee. But
Free.
Yeah. Everything is free. You come to class. There are no textbooks. We have material online. We'll print things out. We'll give you whatever you need to do that course.
Right.
Which is also the benefit of having an in-person program, because if the students are coming in and have a financial need for some part of their program, well, now we have support staff that can help and assist the students through those processes as well.
That's incredible. How much more time does it add to their schedule to do this? Like if I am enrolled in a program that I'm supposed to graduate, let's say in 4 semesters, 3 semesters. If I'm adding the GED to it, the preparation course, and then the test, how much time am I adding to my program? Do you know the answer to that?
Isn't that individual for the students?
Exactly. So the classroom setting is 3 hours twice a week.
Okay.
But we also have a program called, I always get it flipped around, Essential Ed or Ed Essential, that they will be able to go into and pace themselves and work harder. So it's really how much are they going to invest themselves into it,
Okay.
and how fast they'll move. And if they're struggling on something, if they have the time, talk to the instructor they may have, and also the learning center. If you bring, like, say it's math and they're not understanding something in math, the learning center will work with our students as well, which is on the Prescott campus, right? We don't have it anywhere else. Okay.
So perfect. Yeah.
The Verde campus has a learning center.
Okay. Oh, so guess what? And the Verde campus has a learning center.
Yeah.
I learn something every day.
I think our learning center is in the works there, but it's coming up soon. So that's very encouraging. Can you walk us through the process of registration here for these students interested in joining this program? What should they be aware of before enrolling? How does the process look like?
Okay, so the very first thing is have your student ID number or Y number ready.
They need to be enrolled.
They have to be enrolled, or if they can show, but they have to have a Y number. If they're not enrolled, they won't have that. But they need to be able to show and contact our coordinator and give them that Y number. So that way he knows they're coming to our campus. Whereas everybody else that doesn't have a Y number will be going to the other GED campuses and classes. So they need to have the Y number, which shows they're enrolled, and they need to contact Chris Kawabata. I kind of spell that, Kawabata. And they can always, reach him. His number is 928-717-7357. And
I'm sorry, is he with admissions?
He's works with us. He's the GED coordinator.
Oh, okay, perfect.
He's the guy that gets you registered and where you need to go.
So this is not your main gateway to enroll in anywhere, right?
Right.
So let's say I'm not enrolled. I'm not a student here at Yavapai College, but this just sounds like it's the perfect match for my goals, right? I want to get a program. I want to get a certification in some kind of technical education, but GED is my thing. I need to get that over the hump first and then move forward. I'm not a student. How do I go about this? Do I contact admissions and tell them like I'm interested in both?
So are you asking like they only want the GED and then?
No, they want both, but they're not students yet.
Okay. Contact us and let Chris know that you're going to do that and he can make a note. But you have to be clear about that.
Right.
So he knows where to place you. And then they need to contact and register for the program.
Yeah, they have to be admitted. So admissions through Yavapai College, and that is how they will get their Y number. You can call admissions to do that, but it's pretty simple a process to do online. And so you can even type in admissions on our search bar at yc.edu.
Right, perfect. So get admitted first as a student in a program or anything.
Well, admitted to Yavapai College.
To Yavapai College, even if you don't have a program picked or any career in technical education picked at that point. And then that process can kickstart, the enrollment here in the GED.
Absolutely. And then the benefit of having this program being on simultaneous on campus, they can also see what programs are happening around them, and it might pique interest in trying something new.
Isn't that wonderful? All right, I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I'm probably going to get a better answer at this point now. I want to ask this question separately for both of you because I'm sure I'm going to get different answers here because one is more technical, the other one is more of the mother of all programs over here. So here we go. I'm not going to say who is who for the audience to decide. Starting with you, Dawnette. Tell me the motivation behind offering this GED classes. What is your personal motivation to doing this, and how can this really help our students?
Well, my motivation is seeing people. Well, let me back on further. Knowing I have a high school diploma, but to find a job, it's like, oh, okay, you can work in the fabric store, which I liked fabric, but I wanted more. And then, you grow and you get married, then you have kids, you got to feed them and clothe them. And my high school diploma still wasn't getting me anywhere. So from personal experience, I know I need the high school diploma to even work at a fabric store, let alone Jack in the Box. Or when I started becoming more interested in and specific, as Marnee was saying, I learned I needed more. Well, I couldn't really go more without first my high school diploma. So I have a personal background that started this motivation and my life experience. Then working with students, trying to get jobs, just people in general, not even just students, not able to get a job because they don't have that. And then I'm in this position. Yep. And I love my job because now I can push a belief and a faith to help them, knowing that all these people I do know that got turned down and had to go back to school. Well, I'm the type that if you gotta have a dirty dish and you've got a dishwasher, why just sit it in the sink? Rinse it off. When you walk in the sink, put it in the dishwasher. Well, you're getting your certificate and your degree. Let's get your GED too. And if you can't, do it at the same time. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense. Marnee, what is your motivation behind all this?
Well, anyone that knows me knows that my motivation is creating opportunities for students and meeting the students where they are. This is the perfect opportunity to meet students where they are, create an opportunity, and allow them to tackle it, be successful, help them, guide them, and then be a part of that success. That's a huge motivation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. I love working with students, and I love the opportunity to help guide and see when they find what it is that they want, and then encouraging them that they can complete that.
And you can see it in their eyes and the confidence that they get. You can say all you want, how often as you want, this is going to build your confidence. Oh, this is going to build your confidence. Yep. But they have to experience that. And when we see that happen, that light go off in their eyes and that bounce in their walk, you can't stop doing what we're doing. You just have to keep going because it's wonderful.
Perfect. Well, if you're out there listening to this, and if your reason not to make a commitment to advance in your career or find a new job or change, your life by applying to a program that can give you some education to get somewhere, if you, not having a high school diploma is your problem, no longer. Marnee here and Dawnette have already kind of figured out a way for anyone to just get past that bump in the road and kind of move towards the brighter future. I love that. This is a phenomenal program. And I really hope that, we get the word out and make this very successful for everyone that needs that.
And it's free.
And tell me again, what is it?
Free.
Well, I have one more question here. Obviously, if anyone, let's just kind of say that contact information again. If anyone is interested in hearing more about this GED, interested in signing up for it, who do they contact?
Chris Kawabata. His number is 928-717-7357. And let him know that you're responding to this podcast and have your Y number ready, or let him know you will be applying for admissions and we'll have a Y number.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, before we go, Marnee, I want to ask you, anything else exciting happening here at the Agriculture and Science Technology Center in Chino Valley? Your neck of the woods. Anything you want the audience to know or mark their calendars for? There's so much. And we're definitely going to do a podcast episode just with you, catching us up on everything that's happening here, because this campus is awesome. There's so much going on here, and people just probably don't know because it's tucked in the mountains. It's tucked in the back of Chino Valley. But there's a lot happening here. Just give us a little overview. What's happening?
We are the hidden gem of YC, aren't we?
We are.
Yes. It is beautiful out here, and I just pinch myself every day that I get to come to work out here and see these views and work with these people and work with these amazing students. But yes, there's always something amazing and exciting happening out here in Chino Valley with our amazing CTE programs. You're right. That can be an entire podcast. So I'm gonna pause some of that to mention that this GED initiative partners so well with our VESSEL program, which is also new and in full swing here.
Let's spell that out. What is the
Valley.
VESSEL program again? We were in the podcast a couple of podcasts ago with Dawnette and Alex.
Vocational ESL, or vocational English as a second language, but it's for the CDL program.
Beautiful.
Yes. And so that is starting up again in the spring as well. So we need to know that program combined with this GED initiative can really create opportunities for students.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which, by the way, you audience there, if you haven't listened to the VESSEL podcast where I'm interviewing Dawnette and Alex about this program, and just go back a couple episodes and listen to that, because there's a great story in there. You're going to learn about Calendario, one of our students here that graduated from that program, and there's going to be a lot more stories like Calendario, and I'm absolutely thrilled that we get to tell their stories here on this podcast, hopefully in the future soon here. Was Calendario part of the GED program or no? He didn't need the GED at that point, right?
We had to enroll him in it, so he was part of the GED program.
Oh, he was too? Okay.
Yes, he was part of that.
Oh, wonderful.
And he did good.
That man.
Intertwined.
He is so awesome. And it's a perfect example of, all these different initiatives that you have going on at the same time, and how this is all put together so that we can empower these students to just move on, move forward, and kind of reach their goals and all of that. You guys are always doing such a great job. And there's never a better way to show that than to tell our student stories. They're like the living example of all the work that we do here. Any final thoughts? You ladies want to leave us with anything special? Just mark our calendars for anything coming up, or
no?
Just have to wait until next time we talk, Marnee.
Yeah, reach out to Chris and get signed up for the GED program if you're interested in your CDL and need to go through that VESSEL program. You can also reach out to us out here in Chino Valley.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much again. You both were awesome. Great information. I always enjoy talking to both of you, and talk to you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the YCNU podcast. We hope you enjoyed our conversation today. Don't forget to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got someone in mind for our next chat? Reach out and let us know. Until next time, keep exploring, and we'll see you next week.